Hi, this is Christopher Spera from itechgear.org. You know, it's been a while since we've done an unboxing here, and I'm excited today because even though this was something that I said, if you've listened to the iTech Gear Weekly, you'll remember me saying that getting the Galaxy Watch Ultra was something that I was not really interested in doing. However, over the past, I want to say 6 or so months, I've noticed that some of the watches that I have been using and have purchased have some of the batteries have started to kind of go. All right. And some of the ones that I've been using and have been good overall watch experiences for me have been greatly reduced from what I had. Right, had Galaxy Watch, had the Galaxy Watch 3, had the Galaxy Watch 4 Classic, the Galaxy Watch 5, which I traded in for the Galaxy Watch 6. All right. And out of those, the Galaxy Watch battery is starting to show its age. It's about gonna be 5 years old. The Galaxy Watch 6, I've still got, and I'm still hanging on to. Galaxy Watch 4 is involved in the trade-in deal. And the other watches that I really use. So I'm out of the Galaxy Watch set that I have. I'm going to be using the Galaxy Watch 6, and I'm going to be using the Galaxy Watch Ultra, which we're going to unbox today, and I'll get to in just a moment. I'm going to be using my Apple Watch Ultra 2, and I'm going to be using my OnePlus Watch 2, which I'm currently wearing now. The tag that I've got is a great watch. The battery is really showing some age. Still in really great shape. Love it to death. But unfortunately, I've noticed that the battery is good for probably about 10 to 12 hours, and then it just tanks. It dies. All right. So, but it's a really beautiful watch. I've got one or two others that I might use in a pinch, but really it's going to be, like I said, the Watch 6, the Watch Ultra, the Apple Watch Ultra 2, and the OnePlus Watch 2, which right now is really my daily driver. All right. But this has been sitting here all afternoon, and I've been dying to get into this. So let's go ahead, pop the top on the box, and take a look and see what's going on with the Galaxy Watch Ultra. Alrighty. I admit it. I'm a bit of a watch junkie, and my wife hates it. There are very few things that I do, though. itechgear.org and the iTech Gear Weekly being two of them, but really one. And then one or two other things personally. Quite honestly, I'm a good boy. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to unbox this with the small short sword that I've got here. And we're going to take a look at this. Now, I haven't touched this. This got here early this morning, and it's been killing me. I've been waiting for the end of work all day long so that I could go ahead and pop the top on this. Now, I didn't really get anything fancy schmancy with this. I did order a couple of additional bands from Amazon after this came, but I haven't gone into this, as you can see, all right, and I haven't done anything with it. I wanted to make certain that I had a good understanding of what was going on here. Now, this is a little bit different than any other watch. It's got a round face and a square body, all right, which was really what initially turned me off to the watch. All right. Um, to be honest, um, we started off with a Square Watch with the Apple Watch, and then everybody else came out with theirs. There were a couple of Fitbits, there were a couple of Garmin's that came out early 2015 ish, 2016 ish. All right. The Square watch faces stayed um, with the Apple Watch. They've really gotten into that particular um, uh, watch face, and they haven't done too much. Now, all of the other watches that are out there have taken on that round watch face that have really, the classic round watch face that everybody is used to seeing and used to working with. Now, what's interesting about this is this kind of sort of combines both as what I would say is some of the intent with some of the newer watch faces that you see coming from Apple directly on the Watch and Watch Ultra. Those faces are round faces on a square body, and you may see some interesting stuff on the edges as far as complications in the corners or whatnot. But it's a little bit different with this. It really is all effectively the same. It's a round watch in a square body, which to me doesn't make much sense. So excuse while the paper crinkles a little bit, but it is wrapped up kind of tight here. All right. Now there's nothing else in the shipping box. I'm just going to put that to the side for a minute, just so I can show you that I've got a packing list. All right. And then I've got the box. So with the packing list and the packing material out of the way, we're left with the Galaxy Watch Ultra box. And as I said, you can see it's sort of got a rounded corner, sort of square body, but definitely a round face. Now, one of the things that they did this for, obviously, was to pack the extra sensors and the extra technology and the extra battery in here so that it would be able to do the voodoo that it's supposed to do. But we will see. Let's go ahead, though, and break into the box. Okay, so the biggest difference between, at least I think, one of the biggest differences between the Galaxy Watch Ultra and the Apple Watch Ultra 2 is really the size of the case and the size of the battery. All right. Depending on how you work this, you're going to get about 36 hours worth of battery life from the Apple Watch Ultra 2. All right. The battery life on the Galaxy Watch Ultra, it's still it's in that neighborhood, but not exactly there. All right. The screen size on the Apple Watch Ultra 2 is the same as the Ultra. It's 49 millimeters. All right. On the Galaxy Watch Ultra, it is 47 millimeters. All right. So you're losing 2 millimeters worth of screen size in the Watch Ultra versus the Apple Watch Ultra 2. Both watches are, IP68 rated for dust and water vapor and submerging underwater. The Watch Ultra is good for up to about 10 atmospheres, and but only for up to about 10 minutes. Now, you can swim with this thing, and you can swim with it for longer than 10 minutes. It's just the pressure, all right? only works for about 10 minutes, which is fine, if you want to go snorkeling or whatever. All right. Um, the issue, though, is that it does not have the same level of in watchitude, in testicle fortitude, if you will, right? In watchitude fortitude, um, as the Watch Ultra does. And the problem with that is that you can actually go diving with the Watch Ultra, with the Apple Watch Ultra and the Apple Watch Ultra 2. The Ultra 2 is actually a I don't want to say professional, but um, a semi-pro dive computer. All right, you can't do that with this thing. All right, which is unfortunate. Meaning that you're going to be able to do some kind of things with it, but you're not going to be able to do the same level of activity with the Galaxy Watch Ultra as you will with the Apple Watch Ultra. It just cannot take the water pressure. You're gonna get water in the mechanisms. All right, you're gonna get water in the electronics, which is just going to go ahead and just destroy it, which is unfortunate. Now there are a couple of advantages to the Galaxy Watch Ultra as opposed to the Apple Watch Ultra. The biggest and best is that it's a hell of a lot cheaper. All right. Um, I paid under $250 for this after the Black Friday sale and the trade-in that I'm making with the Watch 4 Classic. The so from a cost perspective, all right, absolutely fabulous. All right, it retails for $435. All right, at Amazon. All right. The Apple Watch Ultra 2 is $699, $799 at this point, $749. All right, at Amazon. All right, normally $799. The issue here that you're going to bump into though is that the um, obviously the bigger cost is getting you the additional quality in terms of being able to dive with it, as opposed to just being able to swim with it. There are other watches like the Galaxy Watch 5 or the Galaxy Watch 6 or 6 Classic, or even the Galaxy Watch 7 series that will go ahead and do the same things for a lower price. The Watch Ultra from Samsung is supposed to be the big Mamu, right? It's the watch that competes with the Apple Watch. All right. So when you open this thing up, all right, you're presented with this. All right. Now, this is the watch. All right. This is the band. All right. And I'm assuming, nope, that is just a down arrow showing you where the bottom of the box is, which doesn't make sense to me. But hey, what do I know? All right. I was looking for the everything else. It doesn't appear it's going to be inside the watch box. All right. So you go through two safety strips, top and bottom, on the outer box. You go through three safety strips on the band. All right. One here, one here. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. You go through 4 safety strips on this and then 2 on this as well, which doesn't make sense, seeing as you already went through safety strips on the main box, and why would you have to go through safety strips on this? But apparently they're wanting to make certain that you bought it. All right. So let's take a look and see what we've got here. Now, I got the titanium white. All right. I've gotten a few black, but the silver for me is really a little bit more appealing. And here is the Galaxy Watch Ultra in the box. You'll see that it is completely, without the band here. Inside the top of the box, all right, is the everything else that goes along with it. The way that they've done the connectors for the bands this time around are a little bit different. And I am assuming that the connector is going to be a little bit different as well. Quick start guide, terms and conditions, all right, on one end of the box. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put the docks back into the box and go to the other side because that is where the charger is going to be. Now, I'm assuming that this is a different set of charger and cable than the previous watches. All right, I could be wrong because it looks at about the same. It looks about the same, but and it is USB-C, so I'm assuming that's going to do some fast charging here. But the watch, man, the watch is big. The watch is big and it's bulky. All right, it's big, bulky, it's thick. All right, it's thick. All right, as you can see, and you'll notice that the connectors for the bands are a little bit different. So all the bands for the Ultra, you can't mix and match swap bands. There's never been a watch Ultra before. All right. So the bands that you have, bring out the short sword again. The bands that you've got for the watch Ultra are not compatible with any of their other Galaxy watches. So this is all going to be new. All right. It's all going to be new, being able to go ahead and use new bands, which is unfortunate, seeing as some of the bands, Amazon's got a lot of cheap third-party bands, all right? I mean, if you're into Galaxy Watch, or if you're into smartwatches like I am, you know that there's only so big, right? The watches only get to be so big, right? Before they get to be a little bit on the nasty, bulky side. And with the Google Watch and with the Pixel Watch and with one or two other watches, some of the connectors are a little bit different, and this is definitely a different game entirely. I don't know that you can. Yeah, you can, kind of, sort of. I don't want to blur things out too much. All right, there we go. Thank you, camera, for focusing. You'll see that there are two nubs here. All right, and then there's what I'm assuming is going to be something that allow you to pressure lock or press against the doggone thing and allow you to snap it in. But it's pretty much should be snap and go. All right, now I'm not exactly certain how, because I've got other bands coming to get these out, but we will see. I want to be able to go ahead though and wear this. This is pretty much, when they say white, it really is white. All right, the edges of this thing are white, even though it's silver on the top. Silver on the top. And there's no, oh, that's disappointing. There's no movable bezel, and that's sad. All right. One of the best things about the Galaxy Watch was the movable bezel. So we'll go ahead and snap this in. See, and I knew that this was going to be a problem at some time. All right, because there it is. All right, and that's the watch. That's the way the watch looks, right? It truly is white on the sides, all right, and white on the bezel on top, all right, and silver. All right. Now the default watch face on this is also going to be white. All right. Now with the Apple Watch Ultra 2, all right, and I'm going to go ahead and unlock it with the Apple Watch Ultra 2, all right, and the Galaxy Watch. I mean, it's obvious, all right, it's obvious that there, I mean, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit, you can see it's a little bit bulkier. It's definitely wider, all right, and that again is to accommodate the 47 millimeter um, display, all right. Um, there's a lot that's going on with the Watch Ultra, and I want to get to some of the specs. I know that a lot of folks don't like the specs, but it's important to understand um, what you're buying. Now, this is the Apple Watch, iPhone only, right? Okay, so now Samsung's done effectively the same thing, Android only, right? Doesn't work with the iPhone. They did that back a little while ago, all right, to I think counteract some of this, right? But again, um, um, Android only. It runs a version of Wear OS. It's got a Samsung Exynos W1000 processor, 47 millimeter display or 1.5 inches. It's Super AMOLED, and it has an accelerometer, GPS, heart rate monitor, blood oxygen or SpO2, temperature sensor, which is different than the Apple Watch, a pedometer, a gyroscope, and a barometer. All right. There is a separate app store for it, and it will do calls. Um, I do not know, however, if it actually does. If it actually does um, cellular or not. Um, it's just all the reviews say phone call capacity, yes, but that's about it. All right. Um, so interestingly enough, um, yeah, I like the bigger watch with my eyes. I'm gonna be 59 this year, kids, and honestly, with the older age comes the older eyes, and the older eyes want a bigger display. So I'm glad to have the bigger display, but all right. Anyway, um, it's it's an interesting thing. Um, let's go ahead and see if the older charger will wake this thing up. All right, um, and make it go. It might actually work because I'm getting yeah, it will. And this one has 87% charge. So let's go ahead and turn this thing on. All right, and see what we've got. So come on, kitty kitty. There we go. So, nice big bright display. All right. It started. All right. It says Samsung on it. So we'll go ahead and let it do its thing. It's going to want to go ahead and connect to a watch or to a smartphone. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to connect it to my currently I love the Samsung Galaxy S24. I Ultra. I really really do. Love it to death. And I want to be able to use to use it, but I am such the fool for my OnePlus Open. It is really an awesome phone. It is the best in my opinion foldable out there because you can't see the crease. So I'm going to go ahead though, and I'm going to bring up the Galaxy Wearable app, and we're going to go ahead and try to connect it to the phone. We'll be right back. Okay, so while this does its thing, all right, it's really interesting the way that the Galaxy Wearable works on your phone, all right, on your Android compatible phone. Um, it's got the way that it's architected and structured is really kind of cool. It's got a main sort of program, and then for every watch series that you want to connect with it, it's got a plugin that it wants to install. So if you've got more than one Galaxy watch, all right, more than one series, style, whatever, it's going to install a plugin to work with that series watch separately from any of the others. You can have more than one series connected at the same time, and I do, but it's again a little bit different than, say, the Apple Watch app that just sort of has everything all built in. All right. It's interesting in that with the Galaxy Watch, you don't have all of the other cold code, if you will, those little bits of ones and zeros that you're never going to use because you're never going to have a watch series 2 or 3 or 4, right? And you've got a Galaxy Watch 6, or I'm sorry, an Apple Watch series um, um, 5, 6, 7, 8, five, whatever you got, or you've got a Watch Series Ultra, and or Ultra 2, and those are a little bit different, but all the code is there within the Apple Watch app. You may never use it, but it's there. With the Galaxy Watch wearable application, it's a little bit different. It downloads a plugin, all right, and then uses that code, and any other code that you don't have, it doesn't take up the space, all right. So right now we're stuck at 80% on the OnePlus Open, waiting to install. It's been there for about a minute or two, and on the watch, it's saying check your phone for setting up your watch, all right. So I'm waiting, and we'll see how it goes. I'll be back. I'm still waiting. 80%. Okay, after about maybe 6-7 minutes, I'm at a point where I need to sign into my Google account. So let's go ahead and continue as me. And it is now signing in. This could take about a minute, though. So after about literally a minute, it asked for my password, and now it's signing me in. But this could take a minute. Okay, and after about 3 minutes or so, it wants me to log into my Samsung account. So here we go. I love it when a plan comes together. Couldn't copy your Google accounts. I didn't even touch anything. I tapped continue, and it gave me this. And we're going to try again. Because, yeah. So now it's getting my Google account info again. So,
Hang on.
All right, and like 30 to 45 seconds later, it's still getting my Google. It stopped though. It wanted me to enter a password, but now it's getting. It did something. Yeah, I'm just waiting. So, like I said, love the OnePlus Open. Love it, love it, love it. Unfortunately, after four different attempts where I had to reset the watch at least once, it won't set up on this phone. I don't know why. It is an Android phone, Android 14 based phone with the latest security patch on it. So we're gonna go ahead and give it a shot with the S24 Ultra, which shouldn't give it a problem. It should be, Let's see how it goes. I'm still waiting. 80%. Okay. So what you don't know is that I started all of this at about, I want to say 5:30 this afternoon. All right. It's now 10:45 p.m. the same night. It obviously did not take this long to get this done. However, it did take an additional try. So 5 tries in order to get it to actively connect and sync. Not only did it not connect and sync to my OnePlus Open, but it took the additional times as well to get it to sync to the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. I'm not exactly sure why. I don't know if it's that plug-in architecture that I talked about before earlier. I don't know if it is anything else other than I'm not holding my mouth right. Or a series of communication events didn't happen in the right order in either of these devices. Now, I will tell you, this is not the first time that I've had this particular kind of problem with a Android Wear watch and the OnePlus Open. I'm having issues getting the Google Pixel Watch, the original Pixel Watch, to resync with the OnePlus Open. And I also had issues and problems getting my Galaxy 6 Watch 6 Classic syncing with this. I gave up on both. But eventually did after about maybe like 2 months of just letting it sit and not even bothering trying to get it to sync here. And it did work, and it does work. And again, it's one of those things where you have to get it right, do it right, in the right order, the right way, holding your mouth the right way on the right days when the stars are aligned, whatever. The point is, I haven't, and I'm very good. I've been doing quality testing is all about patterns, finding the pattern, learning the pattern, and seeing if certain actions and activities are in fact consistent. The problem that is the problem that is found with all of this is that in many cases, when the pattern is elusive or when the things don't line up right, uh, but yet there's periodically an error, same kind of error, whatever we call that, an anomaly, or something that is effectively a bug, but it's not consistently recurring. True bugs happen all the time the same way when you do the same things. Doctor, it hurts when I do this. Well, then don't do that. That's the fix to the bug, right? It's very difficult to see the pattern here, although it's clear that something is messing up when it tries to either copy or sync not just data, but Google account or Samsung account information from the phone to the watch, regardless of which phone, including Samsung's own phone. And that's a problem. That's problematic. So it worked. It's working. It's charging. It's doing all the things. You can't see it very well because the white screen is washing out here, but that's the moon. And the time is across the top. Maybe just real quick, maybe a black face. There you go. Right? There you go. You can see it now. All right. You can sort of see it now. And it did synchronize everything over. And it actually looks like it's going to do a really decent job. It's still, I still don't like the body of the watch. It looks a little bit dorky. All right. I did find that there are, like on the Apple Watch Ultra, there are a couple of buttons at the top. All right. You push those, and the band disengages. So it is possible to get the band on and off fairly easily. And I do believe that I like the new attaching detaching system for the Galaxy Watch just a little bit better than I do with the Apple Watch. Sometimes with the Apple Watch, when you slide the band into the watch, the band, depending on the type of band, the band can get cockeyed, and you may have to unclasp the band in order to have enough slack on the end of it in order to get it in. This, since it's already disconnected, you may not necessarily have, but it's going to have the same kind of issues as the Apple Watch band. So this is Christopher Spera for iTechGear.org with the new Apple Watch, with the new Galaxy Watch Ultra.